Well, hey, handy people, Dan here. Hey, got some updates on the laser. This is going to be kind of neat because I haven't shared much with you in a while. I've been working on it, chipping away a little piece here, a little piece there, and it's getting there, getting real close. So wanted to show you where we're at and what we've done. So come on. So the laser, she's been up on those jack stands for about 8 months. Here is the DW200, and I've already got it in the housing, into the fuel housing. I took the old fuel pump out. Some of the tricks is this piece here pops out. There's two little clips, one on each side. And what you do is you take a small screwdriver, insert it under here and stretch it so that pops free. And it takes two of those small screwdrivers. Also, one thing I wanted to say is the DW200 is a little bit bigger diameter than the stock pump. So to get it to fit in this half of the housing, there's bumps inside. If you look at this thing, it's got several layers, but where the DW sits, it had these raised bumps where the original pump was in there nice and snug. The DW would not go in there. So what I found was the easiest solution to that was I took, this is a Dremel tool basically, with a drywall bit, and I just ran it over those ribs and disintegrated them or ground them down. That was absolutely the easiest way to go about it, probably the safest. I've replaced it. I've got the DW200 in there, and you notice this wiring is just loose right now. I pushed the old wiring out, I detached everything and reattached the DW200. One thing of note is that the DW200 has a heavier gauge wire to it, which is really significant. And to improve the safety and reliability of the fuel system, I'm going to add a couple of more pieces. One is, this is a setup for a fuse. I'm going to put a 20 amp fuse in it. That's going to be in line. I'm going to run a power line from the under the dash with the big power lead, run that using this. I'll run it under the carpet and run it to the back and by the fuel pump access area. And then I'm going to add this little guy. This is a Bosch relay. It's a fuel pump relay. Here's the numbers so you can see them. This basically works. I'll use the existing wires for the existing fuel pump wires as the trigger wires, and that would be for, what is that, 85 and 86. So the positive on 85 and the negative on 86. These are the pins of the relay. And then the output wire, I'll come in on 30 and go to the fuel pump at 87. So that'll be the switched wire, and that'll be this wire here. So the idea is, and then in that wire, I will add a fuse. I'll add this fuse in line in that wire. Also make sure that I have excellent grounding. I've got to do that as well. But this, and I got this plug that actually goes into the relay. All Amazon stuff. I think this was under 10 bucks total for the two pieces. But definitely worth it if you want safety and reliability of your pump. And I don't think this is anything new, and it's certainly not something I came up with. There's been a lot of folks who've done this same kind of mod. So let's move on. We'll go over here. Just painted up. This is the fuel tank, the fuel filler line clamp. The thing was pretty rusty, but fortunately the rest of it's sound, so this is gonna work. So that's going in. More fuel tank stuff, part of a downpipe. Here's the fuel tank that I'm putting in. You can see this one came from the C70 coupe, the 2000, so it's a nice match to my 2000 Laser. I hope to install this today. So when you wire in a new fuel pump, I've got the DW200 fuel pump wired in down here, and I've got a positive and a ground that go to it, and I've taken the existing housing and actually mounted it all in there. And that doesn't take a lot of work, but it takes a little bit. So it's all in there, and then I use this clear, this is a glue that actually seals and is fuel compatible. So anyways, I'm gonna take this, and this is a little Bosch relay. And this white wire is it's a 12 gauge, and that 12 gauge wire is the main wire that's going to power this fuel pump. So I'm going to connect it through this relay. See, this relay's got 4 leads coming out of it. Well, the white lead is going to connect to the white lead here. This is the 12 gauge that I ran all the way down and goes up underneath the dash to a constant hot. I'm gonna wire these 2 leads to the trigger wires, which are basically the existing off this gray plug here. That pink and black will go to, pink will go here and black will go there, and that'll trigger this relay to fire this 12 volt power line. And this has got a 20 amp fuse in it, by the way, just for safety I added it. That's going to plug in to this guy, and then that will run a nice clean 12 gauge, which is good, I think, for 20 amps or 30 amps. I think it's good for the 12 gauge. This DW is rated at its highest flow as something like takes 11 amps. So we're definitely well within that. Well, there's only a little bit of wiring. Well, all right, maybe it's a little more than I thought. Well, first I found an unused bolt hole, and I cleaned a bolt that fit it, and found a nice good size ring that fit around the bolt, and I'm making that my ground. Okay, and that's one of the wires that's going to get connected next. But I just finished soldering these guys together, and that is the trigger wire. That's the pink wire that normally goes to the fuel pump to turn it on, but now it's going to turn this on. That's that little relay, and that's going to provide power through this 12 volt line, this 12 gauge line. It's 12 volts. Runs down to that connection, and it runs through here, and then I turned it red because it's actually a hot wire. Goes in, the relay connects, it feeds into the pump through this line here. And there, I did add this has got a fuse in it. Hard for me to do it with one hand, but anyways, believe me, there's a 20 amp fuse in there. So this guy these are all coming out and running into the trunk area, and I'm gonna set this guy, that lip on the end, that little lip where the hole is, I was gonna drill a hole but I decided, you know what, it seems to fit there just fine. So we'll see how that goes once the wiring is all done. If I have to, I'll drill it with a self-tapper and just stick it down. But yeah, I'm getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting things taken care of. The pump has 2 wires coming out of it, and they're opposites. This one's a male spade that comes out, connects to a female. This one's a female spade, comes out, will connect to the male. That'll basically connect to the ground system. So, and that's this guy. So right now I just finished soldering that one. I have heat shrink that I've already, no, I didn't already. Darn it, I forgot the heat shrink for that one. Well, I have a piece of heat shrink I'm gonna stick over the end, and that should take care of that. But there's a little bit of wiring. It's a little bit of business, but it's not terrible. But I've been at it about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I go slow. That's probably part of it, but it's worth it. Well, she's done. The wiring's done. The additional relay is sitting there, kind of tucked in with that lip under that metal lip so it doesn't go anywhere. And the wires are all cable tied down and everything's situated, and yeah, I'm happy. It's ready for the next steps. I gotta connect this guy up under the dash yet, and then we're good. Interior will go all the way back in the back here now, and yeah, moving forward. Well, folks, thanks so much for watching. I've been kind of out of commission. I had hand surgery over the last month, and so the progress isn't as quick as I'd like. But I had some good help, and I was able to do some guiding. So thanks for watching, and please like, share, and subscribe.